Welcome to Thriver TV, the place to break free from narcissistic abuse with quantum tools and understandings. If you Google narcissists, so much comes up. There is every topic imaginable about narcissists. Narcissistic supply, their entitlement, why they pathologically lie, all the catchphrases that go with them like smearing, triangulation, idealise, devalue, discard, the list goes on and on and on and on. And people get really into this information and it can be fascinating. People also get addicted to this information. And the worst part about this is people can avoid their evolution, emancipation, and the claiming of their true selves and true life because of this information. I find it very sad that narcissistic abuse experts who are only talking about narcissists are actually leading people into the belief that this is going to grant them relief, healing, and wholeness, whereas it doesn't at all. Often it just makes people even more obsessed about narcissists instead of being their own healed and whole, powerful, self-generative force. So today we're going to drill down straight into this regarding what you need to really know about narcissists to get your great life. But before we get started, I want to thank you for supporting the Thriver mission by subscribing to my channel. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do. And also, if you like this video, please hit the like button. All right, let's get into it. Let's have a look at what you do need to know about narcissists. There's only one thing you need to know about narcissists. It's this. This person is not your chosen truth. And you may ask, what does that mean? This is what it means. This person does not have the character and the shared values to join with you in a productive, happy, sane, and healthy life. And you may say, just knowing that can't be that easy and literal, but I promise you it is. However, until we develop and heal ourselves to know that it is, it certainly doesn't seem that way. You see, the problem is that when we believe in scarcity and obligation and necessity or neediness, or that we have the power to change people, we will try to look for the loophole. We hope that if we can just learn more about somebody who cheats, lies, and abuses, that maybe we'll be able to cut a deal with them, fix them, survive them, or completely reform them. Yet quantum law is very literal. Whatever you tolerate in your life is your reality. Yet you may say, but I don't tolerate it. I'm onto this person about their behaviour. You may not have realised yet that quantum law looks at tolerate very differently than our limited human viewpoint does. In quantum law, tolerate means entertain as your reality. Anything that we grant emotional energy to is our reality. The energy can be good or bad. It's the intensity of our energy that we're giving to it that makes it our reality. If you're jumping up and down about the terrible behaviour that you're receiving from the narcissist that you declare is not your reality, the emotional energy that you're expending on it is making it absolutely your reality. In quantum law, you are in it, therefore tolerating it, and this is your reality. The same applies even for non-narcissistic behaviours. Maybe you have somebody in your life who wants to watch TV all the time, but you like to get out and about and you like to do stuff. This person is not your chosen reality either. But if you believe you have to make it work with this person because somebody else may not turn up as nice as them, you're going to have to try to force them to change against their will, or you get frustrated and upset with them because they don't spend enough time with you, or you're going to have to endure the boredom of watching a lot of TV yourself. Can you see how senseless and unhappy this is? Just as it is pointless enduring a relationship with somebody whose values of lying and being conscienceless, self-absorbed and malicious is not a match for your values of decency, honesty and harmony. Can you see that trying to force this person, the narcissist, to change to make you safe and happy, or putting up with their behaviour to not be alone, is even more crazy than the previous TV watching example? And truly, the researching into everything about narcissism makes about as much sense as knowing everything there is to about somebody being addicted to TV. Doesn't matter. Do you learning all about it grant you any power to change it? No. Does any understanding of it give you resolution with this person in your life? No. Does your intricate knowledge of it give you the beliefs, inner solidness and development to let go of this person and live a life without this? No, it doesn't. In fact, all this research and learning about them takes you further away from you becoming your true self and true life, and no longer living painful relationship patterns anymore. Let's have a look at the real need, which is to know and develop stuff about yourself. And let's get really clear about this. If you don't know your true values and limits and don't know how to say no to characters and behaviours that are not healthy, it's because we've received traumas and painful beliefs as children from genetic wounds, past lives, and our adulthood that made abuse and trying to survive within it our normal. Until we resolve our inner love codes, which apply to all our relationships, we will not know how to be a solid source of our values to ourselves, which are things like peace, kindness, support, honesty, and the ability to pull away, look after ourselves, self-soothe, and stay aligned with our values and truths, no matter what other people are or aren't doing. It's these internal fractures that make us logically say we want honesty, fidelity, genuineness, kindness, and loyalty, all the things that narcissists aren't, yet we stay hooked to them and can't let go of them. This is all a replay of the regression back to our powerless states as children, in the infantile regression of, if I don't stay attached to this person, I'll die, regardless of how they treat me, and the past life terrors of, there is no other options other than this. Without this person, I can't survive, or I'll be annihilated or persecuted if I don't submerge myself and give others what they want. Our inner beings are timeless. They don't have the logical input to state, hang on, that was then, this is now. I'm an adult now living in a society where I can have rights and options. Rather, our nervous systems and emotional decisions are hijacked by unresolved previous trauma. It's all unfinished business, and the only way to heal it to completion is between you and your inner being. Meaning going inwards to release and up-level those traumas where they reside. Then you will move beyond the trap of the powerlessness of staying attached for literal survival to somebody who's destroying you. You will become a force of survival directly through yourself and the unlimited permutations of all of life when you start aligning into your true self, which is who you are without these old trauma patterns. Let's have a look at values, your values. A really powerful exercise to do is to connect to and write down your values. And if you're not sure what your values are, write out all the things that have hurt you in the past, the patterns of bad treatment that you received, and then write down the opposite. So your list will probably be something like what my values are: honesty, fidelity, truthfulness, kindness, respect, validation of feelings. And I want you to pause this video, connect to which values are true for you, and share them with all of us. Write them below. Now let's get very clear. Words on their own aren't that powerful. It's the action that makes them so. And the action requirement here for you to live your reality and be the generative force of what you do wish to receive is that you no longer tolerate what is not your values. You shape your life from your inner power and truth through the action and alignment with your truths. What you tolerate will be your reality. What is not your reality are things you no longer fight with, roll around in, or live with. You detach and move away. Like a stinky carcass on the side of the road, it's like, ooh, not for me. You don't prod it and try to bring it back to life. Okay, so here we start looking at your real development, which you will never get to if you're stuck on finding out everything you can about narcissists, which is being pointed towards wrong town. Right town is the turning inwards to ask yourself this question. Why am I handing away my power by tolerating people and things that are less than my values? Why am I making excuses for staying instead of walking away and saying, if this rises up to meet me at my values, I may look at this, but the way it is, I never will? And why am I choosing to hang on to the hope that somebody's character can be different when they don't have the capacity or the desire to change? When you go deeply inside the right way, you will find painful beliefs and traumas that have been causing you to stay, make excuses, and roll around in this stinky carcass. Let's have a look at the deeper truth, why you're stuck in this. As I talked about in my two-part series, The Proven Way to Heal Toxic Relationship Trauma, belief systems are incredibly powerful. We know we have painful belief systems that are causing us to play out in life what doesn't serve us, when we can still feel existing trauma within our bodies on certain topics. Now here's the deal. You may have pulled away from somebody who is a liar, malicious and self-absorbed, saying this is not my reality, which means I won't stay attached to it anymore, yet you find that future relationship possibilities are not going well. You may be triggered by people's behaviour that represents the same pattern and be filled with the dismay. These people are everywhere. It's still going on. And you may feel despondent because humanity seems flawed and you can't seem to escape the terrible reality of painful, unwholesome relationships being in your life. You may think this is as good as it gets. Or maybe that you're going to have to accept things like this to not be alone. Or maybe you just keep calling out these awful things and you stay terminally alone rather than risk being abused again. This is all the byproduct of internal traumatic beliefs playing out. Things like, the people I love hurt me, lie to me, cheat on me, abuse me, betray me. Of course, the list goes on and on. Our subconscious beliefs do what they do. They play out to the letter, especially if they've got big emotional trauma energy connected to them. And as far as I'm concerned, interpersonal trauma is massive. It carries powerful emotional content, hence why it's almost impossible to logically recover from. So how do we know that we still have painful inner beliefs having their way with us? Even if we're strong enough to leave somebody who is not our values, we know by this. What they did to us still triggers a lot of trauma energy in our body when we think about it. We can feel it. And we will have come up a lot of what happened that was painful to us emotionally. We will see the evidence of these traumas in our life still. And we will greatly fear this happening to us again. That's how we know. I promise you that these traumas and painful beliefs are still our reality because they are still in our being. And if we be something in our being, then it comes. That's what become means. And this is why we need to become someone different. And there is only one place to become different, and that's on the inside of ourselves, which is exactly where my Thriver healing processes come in. It's all about the reprogramming of your trauma energy and belief systems that are hurting you so that you are no They no longer exist, and you evolve beyond them into different love codes and relationship trajectories where you know your values and you can align with them, and where you no longer tolerate less than these values, and you are no longer carrying unresolved trauma regarding the violation of these values. And you can truthfully ask for what you want, lay boundaries, and walk away from people who can't meet you at your level of truth. And on your own, you're solid and whole, living the truth of these values of self-care, self-love, and self-respect to yourself. Okay, so after all of this understanding today, please let me know in your comments below how interested you are in knowing more about narcissists now. I'm interested to know where you have shifted to. Is knowing all you can about narcissists still an obsession and an addiction to you? Or is this about as appealing as a stinky carcass? Okay, so if it's time for you to start the real inner work, to sort this out in ways that are more powerful and faster than you yet know, please join me by clicking the link at the top right of this video. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe so that you'll be notified as soon as each new one is released. And if you like this, hit the like button. Also, please share with your community so that we can help people heal for real by awakening to these truths. And as always, I'm greatly looking forward to answering your questions and your comments below. So until next time, keep smiling, keep healing, and keep thriving, because there's nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.